Hello friend, I want to tell you about the Peugeot 406 car. The Peugeot 406 was offered in 19 engine versions, but not all of them survived on the market, and some are rare. Despite the enormous durability of the early diesels from the XUD family, model designation TD, few of them survived the hardships of operation. Moreover, today the better choice when buying are the 2.0 HDI variants, for which parts are easier to buy. It's similar with petrol engines. The most popular versions, like 1.8 16 volts or 2.0 16 volts, are quite easy to find. They are dynamic enough, but not very economical. They are hit. Their parameters were improved after the facelift, when the new family marked EW, previously XU, debuted. It's harder to find the 2.0 turbo, so-called soft turbo, and 2.2 with the highest power among four-cylinder engines, 158 HP. What goes wrong in popular engines? Basically not much, despite huge mileages. Neglect of petrol engines can be big, and even then, the main source of problems is the ignition system, coils, and high oil consumption, especially 1.8. Engines tolerate work on gas very well, and mileages of 300–400,000 kilometers should not be surprising. HDI diesels may be in better condition. They are prone to leaks, and it is worth paying attention to them when buying, because for a trivial reason, they may not pass the annual inspection. Sometimes, it will be cheaper to rebuild the injection system than to fix all the leaks. You can expect cheap repairs, but basically, HDI tolerates a lot of faults and will still drive for a long time. Of course, in 90% of cases, each of the sensitive diesel areas has already been repaired, and it is almost certain that the particulate filter has been removed. What's wrong with the Peugeot 406? On the one hand, you could say that, given the age and mileage, anything can break down. Specifically, it's about wear and tear of components, which is obvious in a car like this. However, not every model has 500,000 kilometers on the clock. The most durable area is the bodywork. Even today, unrepaired sheet metal can be in great shape. The exception may be the sills in the oldest cars. Galvanized bodywork some 10 to 15 years ago was one of the greatest values of this model. If a 406 rusted, it meant that it had been repaired. Even today, you can find pieces in better condition than the Japanese cars 10 years younger. The second area that fares very well is the interior. If it is very worn, it means a gigantic mileage or an exceptionally working nature of use. The quality of materials and workmanship in the 406's cabin are at a high level, although in many examples the upholstery or wood-like veneers are peeling, but not destroyed. The aforementioned electronics are weaker, mainly those elements responsible for equipment. The car rarely needs a mechanic to start and drive, and even less often do failures occur that end with the need to call a tow truck. It is important to remember to replace the timing drive every 100,000 kilometers, because belts break, especially in HDI. However, this is due to huge neglect. Also, when replacing the brakes, it is worth considering their comprehensive regeneration, especially the rear ones. It is worth taking care of the condition of the rear suspension, in which the bushes that are popping out cause the wheel alignment to be broken and the tires to wear out quickly and unevenly. The Peugeot 406 has pleasant driving characteristics, but only if the suspension is fully functional. Is it worth buying a Peugeot 406? For now, yes. Although in my opinion this is the last chance to buy this model while still in decent condition for its age. Unfortunately, operation is not without problems, despite the low failure rate. This concerns non-operational spare parts, which are increasingly difficult to obtain. There may be problems with the availability of body parts and external and interior details. In addition, high mileage means that non-consumable parts wear out. It is worth asking about them at ASO, because services may have leftover parts that they will be happy to get rid of for a small price. The car's advantage is its spaciousness and above-average ride comfort. Users remember, like taxi drivers, the Peugeot 406 with great sentiment and often claim that much newer and more modern models are not as good. Thanks for listening to me. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel and rate my video. If you know of any problems with this car that I haven't mentioned, be sure to write about them in the comments.